Okay, so initially before going to the explanation and all, so I will open the code. Okay, this is our yesterday's code, sample 3 application. Here in sample 3 application, what are the different components available? If you observe carefully, this is one component. Okay, this is one component. Okay, this is one component, and another is this is sample component is the second component, sample 2 is another component. There are three components available in the application. Now yesterday how we have created means manually we have created the component. Today I want to create a component by using a simple command. If I run the command, what happens automatically, it is going to create, okay, it is going to do two steps, yesterday's two steps. To create one component, yesterday we have followed these two things. Okay, so what are the two steps that we have followed? Yeah, first in initial step, creating these two, creating the files. Another one is what? Okay, declaring the component in the module, declaring the component in the module. These two steps we have done manually. If you go ahead with the, okay, command, okay, the command is, okay, so creating component using command, the command is ng generate component name. About two steps, step A and step B, these two steps are going to done automatically. These two steps are going to done automatically. These two steps are going to done automatically when I run this command. Okay, for this command we have a shortcut command also. What is the shortcut command is ng, of course. For generate you can use just G, and for the component you can say C. Okay, whatever component name you want to, whatever component name you want, you can provide the component name. Component name. See, these are the two components. Okay, these are the two commands. Okay, of course, this is a shortcut command. This is the elaborated command. Whatever command you want to use, you can use it. Okay, right. Let us go to the command prompt. This is my command prompt. Right now in the command prompt, server is running. So you can create, you can create another command prompt. You can open another command prompt and you can issue the command. Or what I will do is initially, so not to get confused, I'm going to use only one command. Okay, so I just said control C, and then I provided yes, the server got stopped, application got stopped, and then I'm going to say clear the screen. Screen is going to be cleared, CLS, clear the screen. And here what I want to do is I want to issue the command ng generate component C. Ng generate component. Okay, ng, it means Angular, of course. G for generate, C for component. If you want to provide generate total word, you can provide also, like ng generate. What is what you want to generate? Component. I want to generate component. What is the component name? I want to create sample 3. Yesterday I have created sample command, sample component, and another is sample 2 component I have created manually. Now today I want to create sample 3 component automatically. See here guys, if I hit the command, automatically it is going to create sample 3 command immediately. Before issuing this command, make sure that you are in this particular folder. Means in which folder you are creating, okay, that should be available. Okay, yeah, so it is going to create a few seconds and then it is going to generate immediately. If you observe carefully, yes, it has generated. See here, what are the things it has created? 4 files it has created. Yeah, as we know that a component have four different types of files. What are the 4 different types of files means? One is component, HTML file. One is HTML file. Another is this is spec.ts is related to unit testing, and component.ts. This is TypeScript, and this is CSS. This is going to be something like CSS. Sample3.component.css. Okay, this is something like, okay, this is something like component, and then it has created 4 files. One component is related to 4 files, right? The 4 files it has created, and if you observe this thing, it got updated app module.ts. So I will show you. Okay, so I will show you. Okay, app module ts also. I will open that module ts, and then you can see that it got automatically this sample3 got registered. So this is a, when we have created our own component manually, this is the second step, going to the app module and providing new component in declarations part. That is the second step. Okay, but this got updated automatically. You don't need to do anything. And one more special thing is it has created all these 4 files in one particular folder, so that it will be easy for us, okay, to see this component in one folder. See, let us go to here, guys. If I go to the code, you can see in app folder, this is a new folder it has created. Okay, in the new folder, it has created the folder. Within this folder, it has created 4 files. See, sample3, sample3 component CSS, HTML, spec file, and then TS file. And these are the 4 files it has created. Okay, if I open this component.ts file, okay, the code by default, it has provided this code. Of course, this code is provided. Okay, don't worry about this code. We are not discussing right now. Okay, even if you don't want, you can remove this also. If you don't want, you can remove this particular code also. Let it be very plain. Okay, so ROI, let it be. Okay, you don't need to think about it, because we are going to understand these concepts, okay, in next part. Now see here, this component got a decorator. Component decorator got created automatically. It got assigned to this class, and if you see here, template URL is available, and then style URLs are available, and then selector is also available. By default, it has provided app-sample3. If you want to provide your own name, instead of providing app-sample3, okay, I'm going to provide a Slocum3. Yes, you can change this also. That's your wish. Whatever name you want to provide for this component, okay, selector, you can use it. You know that selector is used for calling this component from another component. Okay, I'm going to do it in the next step. Okay, just I'm walking through the classes that it has created. Okay, when I issue the command, okay, after the issuing the command, it has generated the 4 files, right? We are opening each file and we are checking it, okay, how it has created. See here, guys, this is the class. This class is associated with the component, and then if you go to CSS, you can go to sample3.html file. Here it contains a simple information. Automatically it came here, sample3. Okay, this is the component, and then so why people are joining again and again? Okay, so yesterday also same person joined multiple times. Today also joining same person multiple times. Okay, so I don't know what's the problem. Let me know if you have any problem. Okay, actually it is disturbing our class actually. That's why I'm mentioning. So if you have any issues, just let me know. If you have any issues, I can resolve them. Okay, so coming to here, sample3. Okay, fine, no issues. Right, now coming to, so again, what's happening, guys? Okay, so now coming to app component.html. So yeah, so this is app comp. Okay, let it be. One second. Just go to sample3. If I go to TS file, this is the code, and of course spec file. It has generated so much of code here. You don't need to worry about right now. You don't need to worry about spec file. If you open CSS file, nothing is there. You don't need to worry about these two things. We have to worry about initially the two files, TS files and HTML file. Of course, immediately we are going to use the CSS file also. Okay, let me close all the files that I have opened here. Close all, so that I am going to open whatever things I require. And I have shown you what are the files it has created and within a folder. Even while yesterday also we have created all our files, all our okay component files. These are the three files directly in the app folder, right? Instead, even we also can create a folder. Within that folder, we can create all these files, guys. Okay, that is the best practice actually. Okay, so no problem. Now, when I create sample3 component, it has automatically created a folder sample3. Inside that, it has created 4 files related to that particular component. Okay, creating 4 files as well as it has updated the app module.ts. You can guess easily what it is going to get modified. Inside this, it got updated, right? Yeah, if you go to here, it says what when I issued the command to generate the component. Okay, when I try to generate the component, it has created 4 files and then it has updated this particular file, right? What is that? App module.ts. App module.ts got updated. What it got updated? This updation is nothing but to tell about this component. Okay, to tell about this component. Okay, somebody open the mic. Just again. Okay, right. All right. So now if I go to module.ts, you can easily see that. Okay, in the declaration spot, let me make it big. Okay, app.module.ts file, I made it big to see clearly. If you see here, sample3 component got updated automatically. We didn't do anything. Okay, we didn't do anything. So automatically it got added in this particular file. That component got declared inside the declarations. Fine. So now we have created the component. What component we have created, guys? Okay, what component I have created? Sample3 component. And I want to use this sample component. I want to call sample3 component. I want to call sample3 component from app component. Okay, meaning that I want to use the sample3 component. I want to call the component means I want to use the sample3 component. To use the sample3 component, okay, to use the sample3 component, okay, so the component selector is required for us. What is a sample3 component means locum3. Okay, I actually by default it got app sample3. I changed it to sample3. If you want to change it, yes, definitely you can change it. Okay, definitely you can change it to whatever name you want and whatever name you have provided. Okay, with this name, with this selector name, we can call it. Okay, I want to go to app component.html file. See here, guys, the same way how I called sample2, the same way how I called sample, I want to call sample3. Sample3 is not there, right? Slocum3, sorry. Slocum3 is the, okay. So this is open tag and then this is the close tag. This is the open tag and close tag. Whenever you see this automatically is going to call. Okay, now when I run this application, automatically app component is going to get executed automatically. App component is going to get executed automatically. Okay, so it is going to call this element, and this element is a direct HTML element. These 3 elements are related to Angular elements. Each element represents one component. So that along with the app component, these components also going to get executed. Okay, along with app component, these components also going to get executed. Okay, fine. Let me go to UI. I want to run the server first of all. Without running the server, I cannot see the output. Okay, what I want to do is, let me say clear. Okay, let me say clear. what I want to do is MVN, sorry, not MVN, ng serve. Whenever I say ng serve, so it is going to run the application, and you can go to any browser. Okay, so right now no server is running, so no server is started here, that's why it is going to give you error. Okay, so this site cannot be reached because server is still okay, not okay, not yet up. Okay, so it is going to take some time to run. Fine. Okay, server is running at the port number 4200. Okay, so that it is going to actually, this is directly from app component. Okay, this is from sample component, this is from sample2 component, and this is from sample3 component. See, from the app component, what we are doing is we are calling sample component, we are calling sample2 component, we are calling sample3 component. Okay, so let's look at it, guys. Okay, so we understand these components and the use of components and all, guys. Okay, now I'm going to tell you, I will try to give few more information about the components. Okay, why should we write these many components? We can write all the code in the same component. Okay, all the code in the same component, right? So yeah, I have created this code in one component. I have, okay, give me a second, the internet connection is unstable. Yes, okay, this is welcome to Slocum is in one component, this is another component, this is another component, this is also in one another component. Okay, so why should we write all these, why should we write these many components to produce this output? Why should we write these many components? Actually, we can write if the code is this much only, if output is this much only, if output is very simple, then you don't need to create multiple components, you can use only one component. Somebody pinged me many times, audio is not clear. Okay, give me 1 second, guys, give me 1 second. Fine, so now fine, so actually final output is only this much, I don't need to write number of components. Okay, I don't need to write number of components, I simply can write the code in the app component, I can display it. But if the code is very huge code, very large code for writing one component, okay, so if I want to develop anything, I want to write in, you know, my UI contains so many things, so I have to write so much of code. Instead of writing so much of code, instead of writing so much of code in the single file, what I will do is I'm going to divide. Okay, I'm going to divide my output into multiple parts. Suppose let me go to the Gmail again, I'm going to take the Gmail again. Okay, I will go to the, so same problem again. Oh my god. Okay, all right, so I will open the mail again. So I want to take mail again, I want to take okay, example, mail example again. So if we are the developers of this mail application, see, this is a mail application, this is a web application, what we can do is the development of example, I'm giving, oh my god, again okay, the development of mail. Okay. All right, so now the development of Gmail. Okay, if I take the development of Gmail, I can divide this web application into multiple parts. Like this is a okay, one component. I would like to take, this is one component, I want to make it one component separately. So I ask a developer to develop search related component separately. He is going to work on this particular component separately. Okay, see here, parallel development is possible now. I will ask, okay, again, I will ask another user to develop this part. I'm going to make this part as a separate component, and then I will ask another developer to create, okay, one another component. Okay, fine guys. I will divide this part a separate component. I will ask another developer to create one more component. Okay. Okay. So now, as we said just before, okay, if we are developing our application, Gmail application, if we are developing, suppose this kind of application, what we can do is we can develop this particular search part, okay, one component, because, okay, to develop this search part only, we have so many, okay, things are there, okay, for so many output, so many functionalities are there. Due to those functionalities, it is going to, due to these functionalities, okay, due to these functionalities, it contains a lot of code. So one developer is going to work in one component, one another developer is going to work with the other component, one another developer is going to work for settings component. So development is going to be possible parallelly. Okay, each developer works on different component. And finally what we can do is, if we develop, suppose, okay, let us open our document, let us open our okay, document. So I have given you one example, okay, Gmail example only. So each one is one component. I have provided here just you know, each piece I have divided. Yeah, let us look at it guys. So this is one component. Okay, we are, one person is going to create one component and he is going to work on this particular component. This is tools component, one another person is going to work here. Okay, so tools component, he is going to busy with the one developer is going to busy developing this particular component. Okay, so another developer is busy with developing inbox component. Okay, parallelly they start working with different components. This is new mail component and all. What we can do finally, okay, let us look at it. Assume in the app component, what we can do is we can integrate all the components. Like here, I'm going to call search component. Here, okay, left menu component I'm going to call. Here, I'm going to call inbox. Here, I'm going to call okay, settings and all. So that application is going to be, okay, integrated with multiple components here. Okay, so that code is going to be, if we have any problem in such component, okay, where I have to go to, I have to fix some problem in search component, means I directly will go to search component code and then I will verify there itself. Okay, why? Because if we write all the code related to inbox, related to left menu, related to settings, related to everything, if we write in the single file, okay, it is highly difficult to solve the problems. If you have, if you want to enhance any requirements, it is not at all possible. Okay, so to do in very less time, it is going to take a lot of time and lot of time. So that's why this application, okay, to, okay, because of these components, okay, we have multiple benefits. Okay, our development can be done parallelly, means in a team each person will work with separate components, and then finally we can integrate all these components into one application. Okay, so suppose like if we integrate all the components, this email application is going to be created. See here, once all components has in, provided, what we can do, we can integrate all the components into one app component or a main component. Got it guys? This is one of the benefit. Parallelly we can develop it, and then easy to understand separation, code separation will be there. Okay, these are the benefit of the component. Okay, let us look at it guys. I want to take okay, so I want to learn more things about component. Okay, I would like to know, okay, what is the benefits of class. Okay, each component contains class, CSS and HTML, right? So what is the benefit out of it? Okay, so now I want to create, okay, let's, before going to that, I just want to work with a new application, cd I want to create new application. I am creating new application, ng new sample 4. Okay, let me start creating the new sample 4, guys. Here in the sample 4 application, my explanation is going to be, okay, related to how to, what are the different things available. Okay, I don't want routing. Okay, sir, and CSS. Okay, what are the different things available in one component? Okay, how can we write different components? What is the benefit of class? In the class, what are the different properties we can provide? Okay, what are the, how can we write methods and all? Okay, so of course, if you know writing one component, then we can use multiple components to build applications and all. So that what I'm going to do is, today I'm going to create, okay, one component. Of course, how to write code inside the component. Again, if I say component means three files: HTML file, CSS file, and TypeScript file. Okay, what kind of code we are going to write in TS file? What kind of code we are going to write in HTML? What kind of code we are going to write in CSS? We are going to write some code and then we are going to use it. Okay, right. Before writing, okay, of course, the application, okay, creating, right? Meanwhile, what I'm going to do is, I will tell you something. Okay, let's look at it, guys. Okay, HTML, a component contains what? A component contains what? Component class and HTML and CSS. This is HTML and CSS, right? Okay, now in component class, what are the things you can provide? Properties I can provide, okay, and then methods I can provide. Properties and methods. Properties and methods can be used. Okay, so now in the CSS, what kind of code? Styles. I can provide the styles. Okay, right. Styles and all. Okay, fine. Okay, in HTML, what it contains? Presentation code, nothing but HTML. HTML code. Of course, now along with the HTML code, not only just HTML code, what you can do is, you can provide along with the HTML code Angular related, Angular, okay, script you can provide. You can provide Angular script here. Okay, so HTML, in the HTML file, in the Angular HTML file, component related HTML file, what kind of code you can provide means HTML plus Angular script. Okay, this can be called as Angular script. You can provide Angular script, Angular related script. I will tell you guys what is Angular script and all. Okay, so now Angular script contains, okay, interpolations. Okay, so many things are, these are the things we need to learn. Of course, we know how to write HTML and all. We know how to style sheets and all. Okay, if it is class means, okay, properties and methods. Actually, what is meant by property? Property is the data. Okay, property is the data. Okay, so properties contains, anyways, that may be Java, or that may be Python, or that may be any programming, any class you are creating means, inside the class you are taking properties means it may contains data. So this data can be used by this HTML, guys. Whatever property, whatever data available in the component, okay, so it can be used in the HTML, and whatever methods available, it can be useful in the HTML. So component is a supplier, data supplier and logic supplier for the HTML. Okay, okay, CSS is supplier, styles supplier for HTML. Okay, so actually, okay, finally HTML is going to display to the user. Okay, to display the HTML, okay, in the HTML, whatever data you want, the data is going to come from the component. Okay, from the component class. Component class contains properties and etc etc you can have. So presentation, while presenting it requires styles, so CSS file is going to provide the styles. For presenting, data is required, data is going to come from the component. Okay, so the central, okay, the final output is going to be created in the HTML only. Whatever code we have written in the HTML sorry, whatever code we have created in the HTML is going to be rendered, and finally it is going to display output to the user. okay, to display output to the user. Not only just HTML is okay available, along with the HTML, along with the HTML, we need to display the data. For suppose, okay, let me, yeah, I'm cleaning this diagram. I'm going to the mail. Let me go to this mail, guys. So it is displaying HTML and CSS data. Presentation always, okay, presentation, final presentation. Yeah, so if we are the end users of the Gmail, assume we are the end users of the Gmail, what we can see here, guys, we can see here HTML. Okay, to display this, what are the things available? Data means what? This data, it is coming from where? From the Twitter. This mail come from this person, somebody has provided, okay, somebody, okay, so there are so many, okay, mails coming here. This is the data actually. So this data is displaying, how it is displaying? Using HTML along with the CSS, so that, okay, to display the content to the user, we need HTML, we need data, we need CSS. So presentation, final presentation, final presentation, okay, final presentation to the end user contains three things. What are the three things? Number one, HTML, okay, CSS and data. So these are the three things will be, okay, so available finally. So actually HTML is going to come from where, guys? HTML, okay, in our component, okay, HTML file is there. HTML file. From the HTML file, okay, HTML is going to be displayed. Of course, while HTML is displaying, HTML is going to use what? HTML is going to use CSS. And okay, while data is, while presentation, while presenting the data, HTML is coming from HTML, styles are coming from HTML, I mean CSS file. Data is coming from where? Data is coming from okay, TS file. Okay, whatever data you want to display, the data is available inside the, okay, TS file. You can keep the data and the actions logic, data and actions also. We can say data and actions are available inside the TS file. Okay, so I want to show you this kind of things, okay, in one component. Okay, so for that, what I did, I have created one component, right? Sorry, I have created one application, right? What is the application? When I say dir, so you can see sample4, go to cd, sample4 is there, sample4. Okay, what is this, guys? So now sample4, okay, this is something like sample4. We are in sample4. Now what I want to do, I want to open new project into my Visual Studio Code. This is sample3 project. I don't want this project. I want to do, okay, new experiments in new project. That's why I want to open new project. I'm going to the file, open folder. Okay, what I'm doing, open folder. I'm selecting sample4, which I have created just before. Select the sample4 and then click on select folder. Okay, so it is going to load the application. It will open the, okay, so new application. In the new application also, okay, welcome file is available. I don't want welcome and all. I want to, yeah, I have closed it. I don't want all these things. And then if I go to source, inside the source you can see app folder. Inside the app folder you have root. Okay, what is this, guys? A root component. This can be called as root components. And this is what? Module file. Okay, this is a module file. This is basic thing I have. If I open the app HTML, okay, see here, guys, if I open the app HTML, lot of code is available. I don't want all this lot of code in the HTML. Okay, see here, guys, I just removed it. I want to provide, so h1, here I want to provide sample 4 application from Slocum Tech. Okay, and another thing that I want to do is, Okay, I would like to go here, and then I'm going to run the server. To run the server, what I need to do? Ng serve. These are the commands that we know how to run the application. Okay, say yes, and then start like this. Okay, so what I did, the small change what I did, guys, here, sorry, something I have opened, sorry, yeah, right here in the app component.html, default HTML I have removed, and then I have provided like this simple code. Here I would like to show you the, all the things that I'm explaining you, right? So whatever things I have explained, like I'm going to show you how to use CSS file, how to use TypeScript file, how to use HTML file effectively in one component. I will show you guys, so that we can work with multiple components. We are going to work with the multiple components after learning the basic things of component. Okay, what kind of code we can write in HTML. Okay, our next goal immediate goal is to learn things, to learn, what kind of code we can write in HTML, CSS, and TypeScript class and component class. Okay, in these three files, what kind of code we can write, that is our immediate goal. Okay, if you know that, so we can write multiple components in the next steps. Okay, now let us look at it. Very simple. I just ran the server. Yes, server is running. I just want to, okay, go to sample, not sample 3. So if I say, yeah, let me open. Okay, sample 4 application from Slocum Tech. This is the, okay, code I have provided in the HTML code. Now let me go to the first TS file. What component class? I'm going to, okay, this is predefined component class. This is a root component. I'm doing experiments in the app component only. I'm doing experiments in the app component only. Okay, let us look at it, guys. So here some property is there. You can use one property, or I want to use my own property. Okay, in the app component, I want to provide the property. Property is, okay, something called name equal to India. Okay, so name is India. This is a property. See here, guys, if you observe carefully, this is a property. Now what I said just before, what I said, we can use, okay, so we can use properties and methods in the HTML. Okay, now let me note it down this point, guys. We can use properties and methods declared in the which file? Component class. Okay, so whatever properties and methods declared in the component class, okay, where we can use, guys, in the HTML file. Okay, we can use in HTML file. Okay, this is a thing that we need to experience. We need to get experience. If I go to here, what is this, guys? App component name equal to something I have provided, right? So now I have provided this property in the component, app component. So I can go to the app component HTML. So this component is related to this file, right? This HTML, right? Okay, we have to go to this particular HTML file. We have to go to this particular HTML file, app component.html file, and then here I can use that property. Okay, normally basic HTML, using basic HTML, it is not at all possible. Okay, so now we need to use within the HTML only. We can use Angular expressions, Angular related script. We can write Angular script or Angular expressions. You can write Angular expressions here. Okay, so that Angular expression, how can we provide means this can be called as double bracket open and close. Within this double bracket open and close, you can provide the, you can call the property. Okay, this is related to Angular, guys. If you open normal HTML, if you write this code in normal HTML, it is not going to work. Within the Angular, within the HTML, you can write this kind of code. What is the property name? Property name itself, name. Okay, in the component I have declared name property, right? So you can come here, and then you can use it. See here, guys. So now this can be called as interpolation, string interpolation. Okay, I'm going to give you okay about that information. String interpolation. Okay, fine. Right. So here what I'm doing here from the HTML, assume, let me show you the diagram. From the HTML, we have TypeScript call, TypeScript. Assume this is the TypeScript. Here property is available. This property name is available. Here we are using, assume this is a HTML file. We are using that property. We are using the property by using string interpolation. Okay, this can be called as string interpolation. Within the flower bracket open and close, we can use this property name. So that, okay, so this actually, this code is going to be understandable by Angular, not HTML. Remember that this code is going to be understandable by, okay, Angular, not direct HTML. First it is going to see Angular, and then it is going to convert this code into HTML and JavaScript, which can be understandable to browser, and that is going to, how internally works I'm going to tell you later. So but okay, this code is related to Angular. Okay, so this can be called as a, you know, expression, Angular expression. Even we can call it as a string interpolation. Okay, fine. So once I have provided like this, see here, this is the property. Where this property is available? Property available in the TypeScript component class. Okay, component class. Okay, if I open browser, okay, if I open browser, okay, yeah, I have to charge my laptop. Yes, 1 second, guys. Okay, now, so if I see here, the property came here, the property value came up here. Now what I will do is, property value came here, guys. This value India is available where? Actually the India is available where? Okay, the value India is available where? Okay, so let me go to, yes, the component class, so let us look at it, guys. Name India, this is the data available. This India is available in the property name. Okay, here in the class, okay, when you are writing TypeScript class, you can provide the variable directly. You don't need to provide the data type also. Okay, so if you want to provide the data type, yes, you can provide the data type, but in JavaScript you cannot provide the data type. By default, data type is going to be taken by JavaScript. Even TypeScript also do the same thing, but in TypeScript we have option to provide the data type. Okay, but it is not strict like Java. In Java you cannot provide any property without giving data type. But coming to this TypeScript, it is pretty much possible providing property without data type. This type of data typing can be called as dynamic data typing. Means whatever data we are providing to the variable, this variable is going to become string because we have provided the string data. If you provide integer, then this property is going to become integer data type. Okay, this can be called as dynamic data typing. This is possible in JavaScript kind of programming languages, but within the Java, it is not possible. Okay, so I have provided the property. I want to use this property where, guys? In the HTML. See here, guys, what I'm using? Here I'm using the property. Okay, open curly braces, double curly braces I have taken. This can be called as, I repeat it. Okay, I repeat the same thing, string interpolation. Okay, let me note it down. Okay, how can, yeah, in HTML, this is the, okay, in HTML, this can be called as comments. Interpolation, this can be called as interpolation, string interpolation. This string is, generally it can be called as interpolation. We are using string, right? That's why string interpolation. It can be called as interpolation. Okay, interpolation is nothing but, okay, now the special thing, okay, string interpolation. Let us go to our code. We came to know that what is interpolation. Okay, interpolation. Okay, interpolation can be done by using these brackets. Okay, and we can use property name. Okay, property name. Okay, now we came to know that today within the HTML, what kind of code we can write. Within the HTML, we can write not only just HTML code, we can write Angular related syntax. Okay, this is one of the syntax is interpolation. Not only interpolation, okay, many other things are also available. Okay, many things we have to know. That is what we have to know. That is what we have to learn. That is a first step to learn all these things, guys. What kind of code we can write. Okay, so string interpolation we can provide. And then, okay, so binding, that can be called as property binding. Property binding. Okay, just we are providing the names, guys. Don't worry about I have shown you string interpolation, property binding, and then we can provide like action binding. Can be called as method binding, property binding. It can be called as method binding, and we can say two-way binding. Okay, we have these things, guys. Okay, we can write this kind of code, and then directives, we can use directives. Okay, we can use all these code along with the HTML. Now within the HTML, so that's why what we can do, we can define like this. Okay, in Angular HTML is extended to use, okay, to use Angular, to use the syntax related to Angular script, Angular expression. Okay, syntax related to Angular expressions. Okay, so as part of Angular expressions, what are the Angular expressions? You can take all these things, guys. Okay, so all these things can be called as, okay, Angular expressions. Of course, this is a very basic introduction related to what we can do in HTML. Okay, don't worry about all these things, guys. We are going to use everything step by step. Now today we have seen, I came back to the same HTML. So now I want to tell something like same. I came to here. This is the property name. This property name is available in the, okay, class. Which class it is available? Within this class, I have provided name India. And then, so let us look at it, guys. What I want to do is I want to provide a method here. Okay, providing a method in the TypeScript also very simple. You don't need to provide a return type also. Method like JavaScript. Okay, method one. What I will do? Method one. See, method one. Okay, this is a method 1. Here I did not provide even return type also. Okay, what I will do is alert. Okay, here I want to do just alert. So app component. If you observe carefully, what we are doing is method 1. If you see this method 1, if you take like method 1, I have created a property and I have created another method called I have created a property and I have created method. Why? Because a class is a combination of properties and methods. A class is combination of properties and methods. Okay, I just want to give you very simple property and very simple method I have created, and then how to use this property in HTML, how to use method in HTML. That is what I want to show. This is very basic introduction today. Okay, so now how can I use property means using this string interpolation, guys. Again, I can use this string interpolation to call the method also. What is the method name? Method 1. Method 1. See here, guys, you can go to here, you can call this method 1. So within the interpolation, I can call the property and I can call the method 1. Okay. Yeah, actually method is different and event is different. Actually method is going to be called when event occurs. Okay, method is going to be called for a given event. Actually event is different, method is different. Method is going to be called whenever event occurred. Right now, okay, by default it is going to be called. Okay, by default they are going to be, by default this method is going to be called. Okay, now I will come to that. Okay, so in the next example you can understand that. Okay, so the difference between, okay, action mean event and method. Okay, now so I just called this method 1. Okay, see here, guys. Okay, let's look at it, guys. What happened here? App component. So India has displayed here, as well as automatically method got called. So what is the method? App component called. Yeah, let me reload it again. So again it is going to call, see here, guys, app component. If you observe carefully, so alert box came. By default the method called, and then something, the method, see here, guys, what happened? Sample for application from slow contact property is available. Okay, property India is displayed. Okay, India is displayed here. Okay, that's why this is a basic introduction how to write a property and how to write a method in a component class and how to use them in the HTML. Okay, this is a very simple thing. Using, what is a new thing that we have discussed about it? Interpolation. Okay, I don't want to tell all these things, guys, because if I write something and if I tell something, you people say like what is property binding. We'll discuss about all those things later. Now we have discussed only interpolation related. Within the interpolation you can provide, okay, so interpolation can be used for property one, and then you can use, in the interpolation you can use method name, method, you can use method. Okay, this is going to be method name. So okay, we'll keep learning all these things, guys. What is directives? We are going to use all the directives along with the HTML and all. Now I just started with what? Interpolation. So using interpolation, whatever property available in the component class, I can use it. Okay, whatever component we have created, whatever component, whatever method available in the component, we can call that particular method. Okay, this is interpolation. Okay, now, okay, so if you observe carefully, HTML, within the HTML, I'm going to the HTML file again. Within the HTML file, you are using component class. Now I just want to show you one simple example how to use CSS file within the HTML. I just want to use it, guys, just so that the connectivity between these three files we can understand. Basic connectivity. Okay, HTML, okay, so component class and CSS. Okay, from the component class, okay, from the component class, properties and methods can be used. Okay, and from the HTML we can use CSS. Okay, what I want to do in CSS now, I will go to the CSS, I will declare a simple CSS for today. Okay, so that all these combination of these three things, okay, the connection between, okay, basic connection between these three classes can be understandable, okay, to you guys. That's why I just want to show you that. Okay, now let me go to the CSS file. I'm going to the this particular component related CSS file, guys. Okay, okay, because I'm not opening any different component file, different CSS file, the CSS file related to this component. Okay, related to this component. All right, related to this particular component. Okay, what I will do is, okay, here CSS, I'm creating a CSS class. Okay, sample class, very simple class. What I want to do, I want to provide border style, solid, and then border color, sorry, red. Okay, this is going to be the simple class I have created. I want to use this class in okay component. Whatever class I have created inside the CSS, I can use inside the HTML. Go to HTML. Here I want to provide some, this is interpolation, and like here div, go to the div. Okay, I have created the div. This is sample div to test CSS. Okay, here for the div I'm going to provide the class. What is the class name I have provided? Okay, see here guys, I'm going to the CSS file. I'm going to the CSS file and I'm checking what is the class name, sample class name. And again I'm coming back to the HTML file, coming back to the HTML file. In the HTML file, in the div I'm going to provide a sample. That is what sample. Yes, this is a very basic class I have applied the div. Okay, so now let us go to the output. Okay, so automatically it is calling something. Okay, one second. What I will do is I will go to, I'll go to here. The method I'm going to remove now. Just I have shown you for example, right? Here I will go to, okay, I'm not going to call this method one. Just I'm removing this, or what I can do. So I'm going to keep this inside the comments. I don't want to this. Why? Because it is going, if we take multiple times, it is going to call. Yeah, so let us look at it, guys. Okay, yeah, see here guys, now I have created a div, that a div got applied CSS. Okay, now so my this goal is, today's goal is understanding the connectivity between component class, component HTML and component CSS. Okay, this is a basic connectivity. Okay, so of course, whatever connectivity we came to know today, this is not simple connectivity, and this is not the final class of connectivity. We are going to use many things, okay, from the component class into HTML. We are going to use many CSS classes into component classes. Okay, so we are going to discuss more and more, okay, from tomorrow class, guys. Okay, so today what are the concepts we came to know? How to create a component using what, using creating component using command, and then we have used interpolation. Okay, and then we have used CSS files. Okay guys, let me stop the recording.